It is uploading. It is. You can see it. It is doing it. But look how long it takes. 4,606 minutes. Oh, dear. Oh, well, never mind. Either way, there it is. Right, what are we doing? Oh, yes, we're looking at this very quickly. Yes, right. So, that would have been up a couple of days ago, but because I foolishly left my computer on automatic updating, in other words, you know, Windows occasionally likes to pop up with a box and goes, oh, would you like an update? And you go, no. Because if you know when you say yes and it updates what it needs to update on Windows, it will log off or shut down your computer and then reboot it to install the updates. And it ruins everything. And that's what happened. So unfortunately, the computer went, would you like to update? And I said, yes, instead of saying no for some reason. And then it did it and it shut down. And then I had to re-upload the video again. So sorry about that. Anyway, that's that. This, on the other hand, is just a quick little video on this because I saw it in the shop and I had a craving for pork scratchings all of a sudden. And then I saw what it is, and then I saw the price, and I was like, oh my god, that's ridiculous. So I thought it would be a good idea to buy it anyway, test it, and then come to some conclusion as to whether it's worth purchasing. So as you can see, this is Mr. Porky, finest quality pork scratchings for the connoisseur. And then in some sort of silvery foil style next to a pig, a pencil-drawn pig, I believe, or some sort of pencil-style drawn pig on a computer. It looks pretty nice, actually, I've got to be honest. It says, hand-cooked, traditional recipe. Guess how much this bag cost? Have a guess. £1. Yeah, £1 for this. £1 for 45 grams of finest quality pork scratchings, hand cooked. How could you possibly have finest quality pork scratchings? Pork scratchings are pork scratchings. They're bits of pork that were left over, cooked, and then they're really hard or jellified, and that's about it. Very tasty snack at a pub when you've had a few to drink, or in general, very salty, very well seasoned, but, you know, I like them, but some people don't. But, you know, it's a snack. How could you possibly charge £1 for this? Okay, you state finest quality pork scratchings, but I believe I've paid more for the bag, because the bag feels very nice, by the way. It's this weird sort of smooth, filmy style bag, but it's not glossy. I don't like glossiness. And then it's got that silver badge on the bottom right-hand corner. And then, of course, the pencil-drawn pig, which probably took a graphics designer many seconds of effort. And then this sort of like, oh, we're pretending that this bag is like a paper bag with strings, so it looks like a parcel of pork scratchings, because that feels so much better. That symbolises quality, apparently. And you're like, yeah, but it's not a real paper bag with string on it. If it was a real paper bag with string, I would be more inclined to buy it, because that takes effort to pack something in that, not just a cheap packet like this. That looks like what I just described. I'm losing train of thought. We must press on. Right, so take only the finest pork rinds, hand cook them to crunchy perfection in the heart of the Black Country using a traditional local recipe, secret, top, season them just so to give them that mouth-watering saltiness. Because salt and water really go well together, and yes, I wouldn't call it mouth-watering because salt tends to take in all the water and then leave your mouth very dry. Mouth-watering saltiness. Does not compute. What you have, my friend, is a packet of pork scratchings that is truly without compare, as opposed to the other packets of pork scratchings that are absolute bosh. Anyway, so what have we got? Ingredients, let's have a look. Pork rinds, salt, seasoning containing flavour enhancers, E-numbers, hydrogenized soya protein, rusk. These don't sound like hand-cooked, seasoned, quality ingredients. These sound like the same ingredients you get in all the other bloody pork scratchings. Oh yes, I believe that before I even open the bag, that I have been mugged. Right, I'm going to open them up, we're going to have a look at them, and then we're going to try them. But I think we can already come to some conclusion that while they're not going to be unpleasant, because I quite like pork scratchings, I don't think they're going to be nasty pork scratchings. I certainly don't think they're going to be worth £1. But let's find out. Right, back in a sec. And as you can see, you don't get very much at all. For £1, that's all you get. What is it with these little bags of snacks for £1? We had the beef jerky before, now we've got this finest quality pork scratchings, which from first impressions look like any other pork scratchings I've ever seen. And it's on a sanity bag that I stole from a Premier Inn I'm using that as a plate. I'm Povey, remember? I am after buying these, for Christ's sake. But anyway, as you can see, yep, just good old-fashioned pork scratchings. Quite big, which is nice, I suppose. I mean, you've got some small bits, but you've got some big bits as well. So at least there's a variety of size to choose from, which is good. It just look like any old pork scratching, just bits of pork rind and pork meat left over from whatever pork manufacturing place they had, and they've just cooked them and seasoned them. But yeah, not healthy, of course not. These are very unhealthy snacks, but they're also very tasty and good for when you're drinking. Best time to have these is when you're drinking. But I'm not drinking tonight, I'm sober. It's Thursday night, Friday night is just around the corner. That's drinking night. But I'm putting it off. We need to try pork scratching. Now, you get like two different types, really. You get the really crunchy ones, and then you get the really sort of semi-crunchy, jellified ones. I quite like both of them, to be fair, but I'm more inclined towards the jelly ones. Don't ask, I have very disgusting taste. But yeah, there you go. I think we'll go for this one. Yeah, look at it. It's a half-crescent moon-shaped style. Looks like a tooth, actually. Looks like a tooth from a dinosaur or some sort of carnivorous... Oh, no, a saber-toothed tiger. That's what it is, like a young saber-toothed tiger. This isn't pork rind. This is a tooth. Ooh, let's see what saber-toothed tiger looks like there. Looks like? Well, we know what it looks like. Let's see what it tastes like. Crunchy, salty. There's some jelly in it, which is good. It's not as hard as the other ones, but in terms of taste, comparison to other pork scratchings, it tastes exactly the same as other pork scratchings. Yeah, there's no difference. It tastes exactly the same. It's just a little bit softer. It's crunchy, but not thick crunchy. I'll try a different one. Let's try this one. This does not look like a saber tooth, but it does look like a pork scratching. Crunchy. A little bit, though. It's got a very thin, crunchy texture. Much more jelly. Plenty of salt. And flavour enhancers, whatever they are. Yep. Just like any old pork scratching. So, I think we can come to a conclusion now after eating those. While they are very tasty pork scratchings, they are just a bag of pork scratchings. And I've just paid £1 for these, and I got totally ripped off. And all I paid the extra money for was the bag. Pretty much. But other than that, yep, they're tasty, but not worth £1. So avoid these unless you have money in your pocket to burn, or they're on offer one day. Then perhaps you should try them. But I think the difference between hand-cooked and manufacturing cooked, I don't know. Perhaps there is a difference. Perhaps I haven't got the acquired taste buds to really detect it. So if you disagree with the fact that I believe that hand-cooked and cooked are no different, please let me know and explain to me why, so I can learn. And then if I do something else in the video that's hand cooked and cooked and I know the difference, then perhaps I can detect it. But either way, if you see these for £1, don't buy it, really not worth it. But if you like pork scratchings and you have £1 to spare, or you see these on offer, then pick them up. Very tasty, very loud too. I've probably just gone and burst all your eardrums. Yeah, I think the only difference that I have detected is like with the cheaper bags, or the normal, I shouldn't say cheaper, the normal bags of pork scratchings you get, the really tough ones are really, really tough. These, on the other hand, I've got a much thinner, tougher coating, so the pork rind is a lot thinner. It's still crunchy, and it's still hard, but it's thinner, so it's brittle, that's the word for it. You can bite through it, and it's not like, oh my god, I'm biting a rock, oh god, it's going to take hours to chew. You bite through it, and it's hard, but it brittles, and it breaks, and goes straight to the jellified. So I think these are softer in general, really, which is fair enough, but that's really the only other difference, other than that. Right, that's enough of that, and let's get on with Half-Life Part 6, and then we'll do Part 7 later.